I don't know if this is only me, but do you ever wake up in the morning and just feel so drained? But after I press the snooze button 3 times, like most of the time, the worst thought is, I've got to go and do life stuff right now, but I'm quickly going to get another 15 minutes snooze time. 1 week earlier, I traveled back to South Africa from LA to plan my wedding down here. And while on the road, Google gifted me the Pixel Book Go and challenged me to fulfill one of my lifelong ambitions. Instead of focusing on another outward activity, to rather look inward. Instead of making an ad about how rad this mobile piece of tech is, to rather use it as the centerpiece in the most meaningful, most insightful film I've made to date, alongside arguably some of the most genius minds in the world.
Now, be yourself.
Cue Pixel Book Go montage of how slick looking the Just Black Pixel Book Go is. In all seriousness though, it's super portable, it looks really rad, it's got this like ribbed bottom for grip, and the battery life is incredible, it lasts up to 12 hours. So there you have it. Disclaimer: battery performance is based on a mix of video, web browsing, productivity, and other use. Actual results may vary. Okay, so the idea is this. No non-invasive brand placement. I have challenged myself to sit here in my office in Cape Town and be vulnerable enough to look at the camera and say that I've been far too busy focusing on my career for the past 10 years of my life that I haven't actually focused on building a foundation. I feel like most days I'm just on the brink of burnout. I don't even know the basics like how many hours a night's sleep is considered okay, or why I constantly compare my life to other people's lives online, and why is it that I care so much what other people think about me. Therefore, I'm going to go on this journey to figure out how to live sustainably in the 21st century. We all begin existence the same way, as the simplest thing you can imagine. A simple cell that becomes life, a dazzling, complex prospect. Then, in the early years, color floods in. We learn to walk and talk, and then the teen years. The terrible teens. Questions about life, anti-authority, spots, popularity, attraction, to others, to ourselves, voice break, confusion, rebel. To the age where you have to start thinking about who you are and how you fit into the bigger picture. Life becomes very real, very fast. And with so many distractions to entertain our curious minds, essentially we are living in an era of unlimited escapism. It's been easy for me to just keep as busy as possible so that I don't really have to think about life stuff. Now I'm reaching the end of my 20s and I still have so many questions. Questions about the right way to live. Like, what am I supposed to eat to be considered healthy? If you look at any human life like an empty vessel, I believe there are 3 fundamental components to happiness. But not just happiness. I'm talking about sustainable, long-term enjoyment. They are health, energy, and confidence. So through this really rad organizational tool, hey Google, what is the weather today?
Currently in Cape Town, it's 71 and mostly sunny.
I have arranged over 30 different Google Hangouts where I'm not going to listen to answer, but rather listen to understand and draw parallels between these fascinating insights shared from my friends around the globe. In your life, how would you define happiness?
So the less time I have to spend doing things I don't want to do, the happier my life is.
Do you believe that there's a link between what you eat and how you feel?
100%. You are what you eat.
So eating itself may be a lot more psychological than we may think it is.
Definitely, bro.
The easiest way to put this would be healthy foods make you feel good.
Yeah.
And then like not living for that end goal, but living for the process a bit more, because I think that gets very dangerous.
How important is sleep?
It allows us to sort through what's relevant for our personalities and well-being and survival, rise to the top during sleep, and you kind of ingrain that into your subconscious mind and process it.
If you could explain your reasoning behind only eating 1 major meal per day.
If you take 10 dietitians, you'll get 10 diets. You'll find a whole host of books about different types of diets. Everyone's punting their own idea of a diet. The very fact that there's so many variations of diets means that there is no diet.
When I eat till I'm full, I always crave something extremely sweet thereafter.
It's purely an addiction.
Okay.
It's like a cigarette or alcohol, it's an addiction. And the problem is not the calories that you eat there. It makes you hungry tomorrow, and so you eat more calories tomorrow, and then the next day.
Because for a while, I thought building like this external validation would help me be more confident. I thought for so long that building it around me was the answer, but the whole time it was just finding it from within.
How would you define confidence?
By how much or how little you care about external forces in life. So the more confident you are, the less you are making decisions based on what other people's judgments of you may be.
I've always defined my my happiness, my self-confidence based on my vault of videos.
Yeah, I think it's about the ebb and flow of life. I think that I'm a runner, and you can sprint really fast and really far, but you can't sprint forever. So if you want to be able to sprint in life, you have to know when it's time to run and when it's time to stop and catch your breath. And I think life is some sort of healthy combination of both of those things.
For me, I find confidence through, again, the crafting of an internal myth, an inner landscape, a story that I tell myself about myself. Gives me a North Star, that gives me something to point my efforts at, not because I'll achieve everything, but because I'm moving in the right direction. If you're not moving forward, you're falling backwards.
I think happiness is a feeling and something that you don't necessarily think about. You know, it's kind of like something that it seems more like a reflective thing.
The basis of what I've been doing has been about really stripping it down to what you need as opposed to what you've been taught you need.
If your body is not responding appropriately to your eating plan, your psychology will not be right. And we're getting to realize that anxiety and depression are linked to nutrition.
And that's the truth of it.
You need to make sure that you're eating the food that makes you happy, contented, and energetic. You've got lots of concentration. The key is lots of energy, the most important one is you're never hungry.
People that are perfectly fine are looking at you like, what is your secret? Because I'm over here fine, you got half your face cut off, but you clearly look more self-confident and happy with life than I do. So what am I doing wrong? Like, let me try to get close to you so I can figure out. And that's just what it is. Like, it's a beautiful thing. It's a very disarming thing.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm very happy.
How do you define that happiness now that you're in LA? You say that you're happy, but you wake up in the morning. What makes you happy?
I wake up in the morning, I spend time with my kids, and that's my favorite thing to do. And when they go off to school, I spend time, making things, making videos, and working on movies, and working on the kinds of pursuits that are genuinely interesting to me. A friend of mine told me this idea that if you wouldn't do it for $1, don't do it for $1 million. And when I think about the things that I'm investing myself in professionally right now, I'm working on a big movie, I'm working on YouTube videos. I hope I get paid for them, but I would absolutely do them if I knew I would never get paid for them. I would do them if I knew that I'd lose money doing them. And that to me really shows that I'm doing the right thing.
I laid out all these incredible insights gained onto a really complicated human mind map on the wall behind me. But my friend Georgie helped me create this simple infographic on how to live a sustainably happy life in the 21st century. Health works as follows. The more processes your food has to go through from source to consumption, generally the more unhealthy. Sleep is a routine you should get into. We can call it a ritual of sorts. Disconnecting from external information is highly important because your subconscious mind needs to absorb and make sense of what you have consciously experienced in the day before, and this will help you set up for the day ahead. Confidence fluctuates. This is based purely on your self-worth, which is for some only through external affirmations like millions of likes on Instagram posts, or being constantly affirmed on the great job that you're doing at work, your looks, etc. Or it could come from within, and living this kind of carefree, not caring about what other people think of the parts you truly love about yourself. I believe, for me, living in a highly connected world, it's the perfect balance between the two. Overall, what I've learned here, and I think what we can all agree on, especially in some of the stunning contradictions we've heard and create, is that a better life, personal growth, is incredibly personal. It's an inward discovery, truly listening to yourself, your body, your smiles, your woes, giving yourself real time. So here's to the beginning of finding the solution for me. I hope that this video has helped you and encourages you to look inward as well. Thanks to Google for inviting me to take the next step and complete this challenge. And then also to Wong Fu for passing on the baton. Make sure to check out the link in the description for more information about the Pixelbook Go. Other than that, don't forget, you're awesome, brew, and I'll see you next week for a new video.